22.
Strap in. This will be a good one. Two one-loss teams getting together as they're underway on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 3rd down, Austin. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up the 4th down. So Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 19 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown.
After the last game, they have plenty of reason to be confident in their running game, and even though they're facing a top 10 defense, they're not going to shy away from doing what they do best. Make them adjust to them. Make them stop what they do before they go to any type of a change-up.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Stewart. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. To throw is Stewart on 3rd down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Stewart firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown, Browns. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football. All right, when you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. The pressure that time right up the middle, and he was able to wiggle in there pretty easily and get the sack.
Yeah, sometimes you end up getting caught in a little bit of a breakdown about who to block up front, and that creates the gap there, and he took full advantage, got to the quarterback, and finished off the sack.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Operating from the gun, Austin. Over the middle, complete. That's low. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That'll give him 8 that time. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. He's going to float this one deep right side. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And way down into the red zone before he's dropped inside of Cleveland's 15. So a little extra on top of the big play there.
It's tough for guys rushing the passer, but you have to know when the ball is gone. And if you listen, officials will tell you ball's gone. He didn't pull up.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. From the gun, they'll try to run it. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past him.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game has to be sky high. In fact, you'd be absolutely stunned to come away with a loss in that one. Could you imagine going to the press conference and trying to explain that?
Stewart from the gun on third down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. On first down, Stewart, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing to start the drive. Austin. And his pass incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Austin. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, instead of 4th down after the incompletion, it'll be 1st down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2 yards left on 2nd down from the 9. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Sometimes I think cornerbacks can benefit from the fact that quarterbacks might just forget about the idea that they might be near the line of scrimmage. How about the anticipation there, sneaking in and making a big play in the backfield?
Now Austin on 3rd and 2. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is indeed good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully they'll be kicking extra points instead.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And they decided to go with the safety blitz there. And look, if that gets picked up, quarterback really has the advantage then because they'll have more time to throw the football and some wide open space. But when it doesn't, that's a guy who gets a free run into the backfield, and oftentimes the QB ends up on his backside as he did there.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And that's football 101, isn't it? Tip your cap to the rookie. He knocked that one away, but he better not relax. They're going to test him all game long.
Stewart. He's going to let it go again. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown. A big play there. 82 yards. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
Well, we saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's third down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham, you have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
Point after here coming up. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
Throwing to start the drive. Austin. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. After one, 14-6 our score on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Back to throw. Austin.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off at the 25. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
That catch good for only a couple. A 4-receiver look here. 3 out to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Stewart. And a quick throw here. That's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. This one from 35 yards away. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Back to throw. Austin. Staying on his feet. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
2nd and 20. Hands it off out of the gun.
And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Looking to throw. Austin. Looking deep for Bennett.
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off at about the 31. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the 2nd quarter. Here's Stewart looking to throw on 2nd down. And caught right side, Green. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch it and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage here on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
on first down. Low. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Austin to throw on second down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Now the Bengals on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. And that will be incomplete. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm, throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. On second down now, Haskins, and he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff as they run left side. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's Stewart to throw it. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll try and throw it with Stewart. The solid stiff arm. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line.
What an excellent end result for them. But let's go back to the decision, first of all, to go for it all on 4th down. A lot of pressure on the quarterback's shoulders, but they knew he could handle it. Makes the right read there, gets the ball to his receiver. They get the 1st down. It's now 1st and goal.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Oh, a good move at the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. He'll try again. And he takes this one in for a Browns score. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Off the option, he'll try and run with it.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Let's go. Come on, well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. Still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Austin now on 1st down. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Back to throw. Austin. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the 1st down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. The Bengals bring out their punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. So here are the Browns to take over. They were losers a week ago to Baltimore, but they lead things here as they start 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Stewart. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete.
Hey, let's make it a long
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Forced out to his left. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. On 3rd down, Haskins. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the 1st.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They will throw on first down with Stewart. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there. With his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year.
And the Browns are able to widen their lead here in this first half. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And a route is on here in this first half. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And he's taken down. This will be a Browns sack. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Austin to throw on third down. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
The Browns now going to take over late in this first half. And with great starting field position and one timeout in their pocket, they can still come away with points here in the late going.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 42. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
7 yards the pickup there.
The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Throwing out of the shotgun, it's Stewart. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We start with an intriguing one in the Keystone State. Pittsburgh playing host to Carolina. And they have just about gone to halftime with the Panthers out on top. The Panthers seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville. And they have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. Trevor Lawrence with a couple of touchdown passes there. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Browns. And it's been the passing game that's been the story. They have feasted on the secondary to the tune of 200-plus yards already through 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Taken at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them, because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Stewart shoves him aside, and he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Back to throw again. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game. And this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. And there's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. And a give this time to the tailback. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line.
He was taken down at the 10-yard line. It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is right there. It's good, and their lead will swell up to 28. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. Austin. He finds his man, complete. It's Bennett. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I wonder if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Back to throw is Austin. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Gibson. Shreds him with a stiff arm. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big play that time on the catch and run.
I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And we do talk a lot about how the tight end position has changed in the NFL. Here's a great example. It used to be that they were linemen who occasionally caught passes. Now they're wide receivers who occasionally block people. And right here, this isn't tight end speed. It's definitely wide receiver speed.
Now Austin on 1st and 10. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Back to throw. Austin. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of the quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
Stewart now. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
They give it off here to the tight end. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a good 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Throwing now, Stewart. Dancing to it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. And his kick here is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here?
Now an option play on 2nd down.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Looking to throw. Austin. Caught left side. Bennett.
And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the 1st quarter, good 2nd quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off near the 29. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
They'll run on 1st down.
It's low. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
Looking deep for Bennett.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 25. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Cincinnati set to take over once again.
They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Austin to throw on second down. And he's taken down. This will be a Browns sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Taken in at the 22.
With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns.
Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, you know, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
On 3rd down, Haskins shoves him away. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
40 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. You often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And to give this time to the tailback.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
And now here's a carry heading left. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's got this down to the 35.
Come on with it, man.
And sometimes things come together exactly like you want. It's not just been the volume of carries he's had in this contest. It's been the production as well.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And a short gain down to about the 33. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded right at the goal line. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Austin. That one caught by Gibson. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Back to throw. Austin. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Austin. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or 2 shy of midfield. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And to give this time to the tailback. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 47 yards rushing for him now to this point. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Stewart sets to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Come on, fellas. Tackle made at the 16-yard line.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Back to throw. Stewart. Incomplete.
The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off.
Touchdown, Browns. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Browns are closing in on a 4-1 start as they extend their 4th quarter lead. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. From the gun, Austin. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Looking to throw. Austin. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
The Browns set to take over. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And some space here.
And they will finally get to him down at the Bengals 11. 113 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Here's 2nd and 2 now from the 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
A try here for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Bengals getting set to go. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Browns, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year, and they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road.